your boy Jackie Dumpson and check it out because the end is near, people. Okay, if you don't know, I'm broke, right? I tried Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music for the 30-day trial. And just to give you guys a review, because I got that coming out, it's definitely coming. But primarily when I'm in the goddamn Red Roof Inn with a thotty and I need some music to drown out the loose pussy vibrations, I usually turn on SoundCloud on my iPhone. Okay, their playlist is a bit lacking. They only kind of play popular songs, but since I don't download music on my phone, it's a good way to run some Juvenile, Migos, Chief Keef while I'm long dicking a chicken. I mean, and no, I'm not playing no goddamn Trey Songz, Drake, and Bryson Tiller. No fucking way, okay? However, I use SoundCloud, right? If you guys use SoundCloud with the frequency that I do, you should have been noticing something that's changing, right? Sometimes when you click on a song you're about to turn up, you got to sit through a 15 or 30-second ad by some goddamn nerd who's talking about fucking crunch raps. You got to hold out a stroke, because you know what I mean? I got to be hitting it on beat, right? So I'm holding up like, this motherfucker talking about crunch raps. Now, I've covered this before, right? Despite the popularity, SoundCloud is in a weird predicament. They've been losing money for years, okay? But the fact is they keep borrowing money to keep surviving. The reason why is that they got the audience, and at some point they're trying to convert the audience into money, right? Now it's time to make money, because not only are they losing a lot of money, right? And investors are kind of getting like, yo, we tired of this shit, man. Start making some money, right? Record labels, they're tired of their music being on SoundCloud and being played for free, okay? They're basically looking at SoundCloud saying, hey, Apple, Tidal, Spotify, they license our music. Why the fuck do you get to play it for free? Now, before, and if you guys don't know, I got to break this down again. There's 3 major labels. They own probably about 85% of music, okay? Everybody else is signed to some type of independent, and even then, the independents might have their licensing or the rights to their music being controlled by these major labels, okay? Now, the 3 big major labels that everything fall under, I'm talking about from Epic Records to Def Jam to Interscope, any record label that's considered major, they fall under these 3. Okay, we have Sony Music Entertainment, that's where Bobby Shmurda with Epic and a lot more other places under there too. We have Universal Music Group, so when you think about Cash Money, YMCMB, they fall under Universal, and Universal is probably the biggest. Okay, the 2 biggest are Sony and Universal. Okay, the smallest is Warner. Now, OVO is at Warner, if you guys don't know, right? Now, to settle the beefs, because SoundCloud's getting a lot of pressure behind the scene, this is what they did, okay? They signed a deal with Warner like last year or a couple of years ago, and they basically signed away 5% of their company to Warner. So Warner owns, technically, a part of SoundCloud. Now, that was okay, but we knew the bigger problem was going to be when Universal and, of course, Sony get into the mix. They're the big fish in the pond. Now, we just get news today that there has been a deal struck between SoundCloud and Universal Music Group, which tells us a couple of things. The end is near, okay? The only major label that's still holding out is Sony Music Entertainment. They're probably going to reach a deal soon, which, and if this is what you're probably trying to hear, right? It probably means that towards the end of this year, SoundCloud will be forced to launch a music subscription program, just kind of like Tidal, Apple Music, and the rest of them, and just pretty much almost become a streaming service. Now, there's going to be a free option because that's how they really thrived, but you're going to have to get accustomed to hearing all these damn ads every time you try to listen to a song, a podcast, a DJ mix, and that's why I used to have DJ mixes on there, if you don't know. I took them off, right? Because the rights holder kept like emailing SoundCloud. They don't have a good copyright system. They kind of go crazy, so I kind of took them off. But if you guys are wondering what's the future of SoundCloud, these labels, which they own the music, right? And that's the reason why I keep telling you guys, the artist signed to the label, and they usually sign their rights away to the label, right? So the label owns all this shit. So the label is looking at the platform like, you're nothing without our music, right? And if you think about all your favorite entertainers, if their music can be on SoundCloud, how really popular would it be? So SoundCloud is kind of held at the balls. They got to make some deals, and they still got to try to survive and make money as well, right? They're trying to come to a compromise. They gave 5% of the company to Warner, but that's the smallest out of the 3. Now, we don't know the specifics of the Universal Music Group deal yet, but supposedly it got to be lucrative for Universal Music Group because they definitely all about the money, and we'll see what Sony says. But towards the end of this year, man, just expect that SoundCloud, or the place that we know it now, it will not be the same. Okay, you got to find other alternatives. I don't download music anymore. I really try to stream it because there's a lot of fast food music coming out, so I don't like to download shit. But when you see it kind of getting like this, I don't really like hearing ads. It's one thing if I'm on YouTube, okay? And even then, you could kind of get around with YouTube Red, and that's still a subscription service, right? But it's becoming even more harder, or just harder in general, right, to get music without being bombarded by ads or told you got to pay for it after a certain time, okay? Unless you know the plug. If you know the plug, you know what it is, okay? Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, definitely subscribe. It's your boy, Akademiks, man. I'm out.